Hey, what's up? This is EZEKXY and I suck at acting. So the second part of my video game audio series is centered on the importance of the voice acting capabilities of your actors. Indie game developers, please do not skimp out on your voice actors if you plan on having like any sort of cinematic voices in the game. Now, I don't mean that you should bust out the big bucks for like a Hollywood level voice actor, but at least try harder than asking your neighbor Bob to come over and record for you. That is, unless your neighbor Bob is an extremely good voice actor, but you know what I mean. Video games are all about full immersion, so unless you're making a satirical and parody game making fun of other games with terrible acting, then you really do need some good voice actors. Now obviously, if you're trying to develop a game like Tetris or Angry Birds, or Doodle Jump, you don't have voice acting involved really, so basically this video mostly pertains to the people who are planning on making video games with voice acting involved. And don't think that good acting is simply limited to RPGs and games that are primarily driven by their story. Even games like first-person shooters and real-time strategy games need some good voice acting. Basically, if your game has a story and you want to explain it through some cutscenes involving character dialogue, then you're going to need to invest in some good voice actors. You honestly cannot have moments in your game where the player subconsciously thinks, that doesn't sound right. And as gamers, we all subconsciously realize it. It's that moment where we cringe at how bad the voice acting is. It's also that moment where we stop following the story and ask ourselves, what am I gonna have for dinner tonight? It's when the player loses focus and gets torn out of the world of the video game. I mean, during the actual game, the player is totally immersed just because of the gameplay. I mean, they're just completely glued to the screen just so that they can try and beat that level. However, when it's over and you as the developer try to tell the storyline of the game, the characters need to be believable. And the best way to do that is to make their voices something that's believable. Oh, and by the way, here's a tip. You also don't want to have a character with a voice that's really annoying, because eventually players start hating that character. I mean, I'm just saying. Anyways, voice acting is also important outside of the cinematic and storytelling aspect of the video games as well. For example, in action shooter games, you can't have characters that have awkward voices or like speak with a boring drawl during a firefight and expect the player to be drawn in.
Watch the silhouette of the rooftop. Marines staying clear. We're gonna get some rounds into those buildings. Gunner, two-story building at 1 o'clock. Ground floor. Target acquired. Fire! Gunner, two-story building at 1 o'clock. Second floor. Target acquired. Fire! Gunner, three-story building, 11 o'clock. Second floor. Target acquired. Fire! Three-story building, 11:30. Second floor balcony. Target acquired. Fire!
Pain and hurt sound effects from the characters should also be realistic. You can't have someone being set on fire and saying, ouch. They need to be screaming as if they're on fire.
Like, who's sponsoring? And I was just like, ah! Because I was so stressed out. So he was just like, oh yeah.
So basically, you want to be able to draw your player into your world. You as a developer created this new overworld and the story for the player, and the world will have new people and new characters. Bad acting can ruin any story, be it a Hollywood film or a video game. So you basically have two options. Get some good voice actors, or simply make it a text-based game with no voice acting. And I'm not trying to say one's stronger than the other. I mean, both have strengths and weaknesses. On one hand, it feels like the characters are coming to life through their voices, while on the other hand, you basically leave the characters' voices up to the imagination of the player. So the player essentially has control of what they're hearing. Okay, that's pretty much it for this video. I'm really sorry for like the delay and like how this video was kind of like crappy. My computer is like completely dying. The RAM is dead. The CPU is dying. Ugh, the entire thing is just falling apart. Anyways, I'll try to make some new videos soon. And I'm going to try and see if I can fix this computer so I can start like, doing some stuff with like actual video games involved on my channel instead of me just going on and on about some random video crap. Alright, that's it. Peace.